it's really hard to go from, wait, I'm supposed to adjust myself to fit the vibe of who's in front of me, what's happening around me, where I'm trying to go, to like, oh, wait, you're saying I'm supposed to show up as me? What? Hey, loves. My name is Dantea, and I'm your fave self-worth therapist and coach. And this is my show, Situationship. This show is about getting out of toxic situationships that go beyond partners to family and friends and everything in between, to living a life of joy and self-worth. Okay, let's get into it. We're back. It's fall time. I'm so in love with fall. So in love with fall. I love fall. Sometimes I wish I lived in a place that was fall year round. Then I'm like, I don't know if I want to live in a place that's fall year round. I don't always want to have to wear a sweater. I don't always want to see orange, red, and yellow every day. Every day, right? Like, I love me a good foliage, fall foliage. Like, that is my life. That's my heart's dream. I don't know if I'd want to see the same thing every day, period. Right? Okay. So I really want to take my time with this episode. I feel like when I listen to past episodes, I'm like talking really fast. And I know I've said this before, so I'm gonna try to, slow it on down. So this episode, I want us to talk about, like, you're here with me. I want us to talk about like really embracing ourselves, right? Embracing ourselves so then we can let go as much as we can of the people-pleasing trap. I think embracing ourselves and people-pleasing goes hand in hand. And to jump into that, like I love to do, I want to define some things in real time. So let's look up, what does people-pleasing actually mean? Like, what is the actual definition? It was right. It was ready for me. I don't even feel like I finished typing that. So a people pleaser, this is according to medicalnewstoday.com, because a people pleaser personality means a person feels a strong urge to please others, even at their own expense. They may feel that their wants and needs do not matter or alter their personality around others. So, as a people pleaser, you feel like you just give on to others, even if it slowly kills you, right? And then it also means, according to this, it also means that you truly feel that your needs and wants do not matter, which I talk about that all the time on this show. Your needs and wants do matter. And also it can alter your personality. As a people pleaser, because I include myself here, we can alter our personality around others, right? Which we can, which makes us great actors. Okay. What's the other word? Like what the people say in theater? A thespian. It also makes us great thespians, right? I was like, it sounds like lesbian. It's not. Thespian. Okay. I was like, that, thespian, bad, lesbian, that, thespian. So, yes, that's what people pleaser definition means. I was hoping it'd bring up like Oxford definition. I guess we're not doing that today. That's okay. So, based on that, being a people pleaser, it's another intoxicating, toxic trait, because somewhere along the line we've learned to, if I adjust my personality, if I become a chameleon, you come and go. Man, if I was alive during that time, I think I'd be a total Boy George fan. Like, I'd be like, I've never seen anyone that looks like this person, and I'm all for it. So anyways, but yeah, we become chameleons, and we do not see anything wrong with it, right? We truly believe like everyone else is adjusting themselves. Like you're supposed to match the energy of the room. You're supposed to match the cadence and the way someone speaks and talks so you can be accepted, right? So you won't be looked at as a disease, a virus, you know what I mean? So it's really hard to go from, wait, I'm supposed to adjust myself to fit the vibe of who's in front of me, what's happening around me, where I'm trying to go, to like, oh, wait, you're saying I'm supposed to show up as me? What? Like, where's me going to get me, right? Like, I hear it. Where is me going to get me? I hear it. So let's jump into that.
If you're listening to this episode, I bet you're wondering what behaviors you're doing that keep you from getting your needs met and ending up in situationship after situationship. I got you. I've created a situationship quiz and I'm so excited about it. Take the quiz to discover more behaviors and more tips for navigating situationships, because I know you're in more than one right now. No judgment, boo-boo. I used to have 5 situationships at a time. Yes. So you're not alone. You can find the quiz at www.dontea.co/quiz. That's dontea.co/quiz. I'll drop it in the show notes as well. Okay, back to the episode.
So the ways that I have challenged against people pleasing, right, is maybe like a lot of you. I got to a point where I felt just constantly tired of like holding myself back. It didn't feel like holding myself back at that time though. It felt like, oh, in this crowd, I need to be more hee hee ha ha, right? In this crowd, I need to be more subdued. In this crowd, I need to be more agreeable. In this crowd, I need to be, oh gosh, like gossipy, you know? So I get that. I get that. And I think it was just for me, I was just like, dang, like I'm exhausted. I feel like I'm making mistakes all the time. I feel like people weren't really understanding me. Or people would say, like in grad school, I'll never forget this. Someone who I was in school with and we hung all the time, she like said to me, you ask a lot of questions about us, but we don't know anything about you. And I was like, what? Like, because to me, I feel like I share so much of myself. I feel like I didn't hold anything back. When I really sat and analyzed that, she was right. Because when I was in that circle with her and her other friend, I felt like the attention needed to be on them because I felt like I didn't have anything. I didn't feel like who I was at my core really aligned with what they talk about day to day. So instead of me just being me and being like, hey, I want to talk about why do you think clouds form the way they do versus all this man got on my nerves and I hate him and I hate my boyfriend and I cheated on him again, da 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 da. Like, since I wasn't about that kind of stuff, I felt like, well, let me just not talk about me because it doesn't fit here, even though I want to fit here. Let me just focus on them. Right? Like it's even describing it, I feel like I'm not making sense and I'm just gonna trust that I make sense. Okay. So just constantly trying to appease the situation. And of course, what happens with all that, we just lose ourselves. Like, who are we? Who we be? You know, we're not sure. We're not sure. So on the journey to authenticity, right? Because that's the opposite. There goes people pleasing, and the opposite way to combat that is just being authentic. And of course, being authentic is like, okay, but what do I do now that people can see me and I'm allowing them to see me? And what if they don't like me? The short answer is they won't. Another short answer is some of them will. The other short answer is those who like it are those who we want to keep in our lives, okay? However long they need to stay there. So let's define authenticity. So being authentic, I think, is just being in alignment with your values, your wants, and your needs. right? Like your core values, which core values can change. Okay. Core values can change. Current values as present day, how close are we in alignment to that? If we're walking in all the things, staying in alignment, that is being authentic. So me, authentically me is someone that likes to sing. Authentically me is someone that is funny, and I don't try to be funny. Like it just comes out. Like people just laugh and I'm like, oh, it's funny. Or like you. And I'm like, what did I say? Like, it's just how you said it. And I'm like, I don't hear it. It's that. I'm very sensitive. Not as sensitive as I used to be. However, I'm very sensitive. I like to feel things and I feel things. Authentically me is I love love. Lots of forms of love, friendship love, work love, career love, romantic love, family love, pet love, right? Like all that kind of stuff. Babies that aren't mine love, all kind of love, connection. So if that is me, if that is the authentic me, and I'm showing up in spaces where I'm trying to practice not being a people pleaser, I have to tell myself like, it's okay that I'm not gonna go in this room and go in this space and try to match the energy. Do I think there is something to be said about reading the room? Like if we're going to a wake, like a funeral wake, a passing wake, and you go in there and you start doing karaoke when you bring your own sound system. No. I'm not saying show up as you all the time, no matter what the rules and regulations are. I'm like, because I'm thinking like, okay, well, I really love cocktails, and so I should just drive while drinking cocktails, like, because that's me. Okay, all right, well. So what I'm saying is, how can you be you still within the realm of a sensitive space, right? How can you be you going to a birthday party? Maybe you really want to dress up, and you're not sure if by you dressing up is going to be outside of the dress code, like it's going to be like quote unquote too much. And I say, if you want to wear a flashy dress to someone's birthday because you haven't been out in a long time, or you just really like to dress up regardless of the occasion, I say do that. Finding your way to be authentic. Going back to myself with the group of friends in grad school, with those two individuals in particular in grad school, if I was showing up as authentically me, I would have just still said the things that were on my mind and see where it took me. It may have taken us on that journey and we could have explored. It also may have taken us to a place where we're like, what? No, don't talk about that or whatever. Like, we don't know. The point is, we have to show up for ourselves, because us as people pleasers, we do such a great job at making sure everyone else is okay. Because if everyone else is okay, that means I can be okay. Yet, how can I really be okay if I'm constantly worried and thinking about what's going on with you and what do you need and what more do you need and what less do you need? Are you comfortable? Are you uncomfortable? How can I make you more comfortable? Right? I think the biggest thing that gets lost when we try to be authentically us is just knowing the importance of self-acceptance. Right? Because as a people pleaser, we're looking for validation from others. We're looking for acceptance from others. We're looking for the stamp of good enough, you belong, right? And self-acceptance of yourself. My little sister does a really great job at this. She's someone that goes to the beat of her own drum. Very much so. And she accepts that. There are things that she does that I wish I embodied when I was in middle school. She's not in middle school. She's an adult now. I wish I showed up as her in middle school. I was so worried about fitting in. And my little sister, like, she did not care. And she found her people. And she has so many friends that are very similar to her. They are different from the supposed what's cool, what's trendy, what's hip norm. And I love that. And she loves who she is proudly. And when you really love who you are, then that pressure of, oh, I can't be me will slowly decrease. So let's talk about some tips. And I think like a small tip you can do for yourself is really just thinking about like, who am I, right? And when you go to the who am I, think about your core values. When you go to the who am I, think about how, I'll say this. In a coaching session I had with someone, they were talking about they show up differently when they're in a space with their friends versus when they're in a space of dating someone, right? One space is authentic, the other space is not. And so really, I think, getting clear, like, what is authentically you today, this week, this year? What is authentically you? How can you practice doing that more so, right? Doing that more so. It could be as small as like clothing. If you know that you feel like people say that women should wear skinny high heels because that's really sexy, but you're like myself and you're like, fuck that, I need chunky because I need some stability, I need to walk slow, then you're going to wear chunky heels because that's authentically you. You want to wear blonde hair all the time? People are like, oh my God, why do you wear blonde hair? Because you like it. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And accepting that, like, this is me. I like to wear black all the time. People say I should wear more color. Well, I like to wear black all the time. And I want to wear chunky heels. And I want to wear blonde hair. And that's just going to be me, right? Like, and knowing how good that feels, like noticing like how you feel when you're more in alignment with who you are and going after your own joy. And then the comfort of others comes second. Just let me know. Just sit and think about it. Sit and think about it. Let me know how it feels. Let me know how you're rocking with it. And I'm excited to hear from you. So here's to us, people pleasers, recovering people pleasers, as we try to figure out ways to not always put the comfort of others first, adjusting ourselves to the supposed rule vibe of the room and still showing up as us. Because trust and believe, people who really want to know you, they want to know you, not who you are putting on to be, because we don't know if we'll be accepted, right? Reminder, people pleasers, others' emotions are not our responsibility. I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know. Others' emotions are not our responsibility. We're responsible for our own emotions and what we do with that. That's it. Okay? You got this. I believe in you. Like always, keep positivity, keep encouragement throughout yourself as you're figuring this stuff out, right? Because this is our path on our journey to self-discovery, which is forever going. Okay, until next time, bye.
Thank you for listening to the show, loves. This show was produced by Mackenzie Mazzell and me, Dantea. If you got a question you'd like me to answer, which I know you do, please send it to dantea@soireesintherapy.com. That's SOIREES for soirees. When you do that, the answer might just become an episode, and I would love to keep talking about your question. Want to work with me? The link is in the show notes. I'll see you there, and I'll see you in the next episode. Okay,